actually allow you to do more computing and keep up with the video rate completely.
I think a different phone might have.
Yeah, just the next phone. Twice
Come on,
as fast.
Dad, buy a better phone.
So,
You should talk to Qualcomm, have them video.
Oh yeah.
so in the year prior, they actually used my phone, which I think is a little beefier. But so the main programmer this year was William.
So I use my phone, which I bought for $70 on Amazon. So is it the most powerful thing for this?
Amazing.
I ran a benchmark on the phone that was a few years old, compared to the Cray XMP from 1985, fastest supercomputer in the world. The phone is 64 times faster. Right, so, and that was $50, same deal. $50 for a 2-year-old phone.
Amazing. So what other ideas have you guys thought about for improving it for next year? What about this would you not like, or would you like to have more time to work on and change?
The reason that we weren't able to completely map this whole maze is because we did encounter what Jake said, one of those blocks where you don't have any walls to realign with. I think that it would be difficult. One of the things that could help is a smaller robot, because it's actually decently bulky and it's very easy for it to get stuck on loose ends.
So in other words, something that allows for more error.
Yeah.
Because it's smaller.
As well as, so one of the things that we weren't able to do is read further pipes than one cell. Because so we didn't have much time to work on this. So what we would have done if we had more time is read further pipes and then adjusted from those
So
two.
you need a camera tilted.
Well, he wasn't.
No, just have to look for the.
Just a different.
Yeah.
Because he was only looking at the bottom half of the screen, right? So
Yeah.
if you looked above, then you'd be able to see, you'd be able to guess what's coming up in the future.
But we couldn't figure out how to tell the difference between a pipe that is 2 cells or 3 cells in front of it. So we were having problems getting that to work. Maybe if we had more time to work on it.
So the further you get up in the distance distance between each cell becomes smaller and smaller, and at some point it goes past your
Or
error.
you could add a rangefinder that's at pipe level. It will tell you the distance to the furthest pipe.
The Roomba, what does the Roomba have built into it? Just bumps?
So bumps, and it has
Wheel drops.
drops and infrared for docking at beacons. So we also tried to use a compass, which worked fine when we tested it outside of the competition site, but
Too much metal in the floor.
yeah, that was that competition.
Actually, I think it was wiring underneath the
Electrical. Well, yeah, just something throws off the magnet.
Well, we're so glad that it did throw it out, because this innovation didn't have to come back otherwise.
Yeah, great. Remember, don't be afraid of failures. That's how you learn.
So you guys didn't make it all the way through the maze this year, right?
Yeah,
How many cells in did you get?
We did
I want to say,
13 or something. Or
yeah,
5
in the
out of
curved path,
13.
13, like 20 in the curved path or something.
What happened?
It
So,
reached a cell like this, where there was nothing to align. And so it turned, and then it ended up hitting one of the sides.
You still got first place.
yeah, so we
Sure.
placed first because we had a decent technical presentation. So we showed you, I think the judges on the video was cool.
Very nice.
So did anybody else in the competition use those lousy ultrasonic sensors that I hate? And have any luck with them at all? Just curious. Yeah, the little ultrasonic circular sensors, 2 big things beside themselves.
Yeah, there were
There's
some.
5 or 6 other teams trying those.
Trying?
You're
Succeeded? Or trying? Or did you didn't notice?
Succeeding for certain challenges. But Trevor won it last year. He was using those things. He had the 4 of them.
Well, and what I've noticed is that they work when you get really, really, really close. When you get any distance away.
And what I've heard from some of the other teams is that there's actually a dead zone where you get so close, it works. You get so far out, it works. But in this middle range,
It doesn't.
it doesn't. It just won't read it. And so, yeah, I forget which team that was saying that, but that's what I heard.
So nobody's willing to pony up the money for a LiDAR?
They're getting cheaper.
Wow, $5,000.
Not that cheap.
I mean, from 40 to 5, a pretty good progress.
It's a $99.
What's that? Yeah, they do supposedly, but I don't know if they're selling it.
So,
Instead of using the iRobot,
Well, they've got flare cameras.
Could you use a RoboLink robot to do that?
what's that?
Possibly.
Oh, RoboLink, oh yeah.
So I've seen some. So I've seen some people do some really interesting work with laser lines. You know what that is? Laser level lines. So it's a laser, but it puts out a straight line. So one of the things that they can do is you saw how the line in the picture goes down as you get closer, right? So it's kind of the same idea, except that what they're doing is they, like, for example, will put out a laser line straight, but the laser is off to the side. And then what happens is they can detect wherever that laser line falls by taking one picture, turning off the laser level, taking another picture, subtracting the two pictures from each other, and the difference is a really nice clean line. And the offset from left to right will be the exact distance from you to that object, because of the parallax between the laser line and the video. So
Next year, you guys, there's an idea for you.
The next project next year.
So unfortunately, this year, or this is the last year that William's going to be in San Diego. So that's a team killer, and we're sorry to see him go.
You going to
because,
MIT now?
Cambridge, Stanford.
It's going looking for a sponsor.
So which part of the robot did you enjoy
Right.
working on the most? Sort of the camera part, just
We'll have to answer that. I think it's best. It's really frustrating when you're working on it, and then you can't get anything to work. But then once you're working on it, and then you can get it to, even when we're just getting it to be able to map and solve, like fun. But you have some hope that your robot can.
So how did you interface to the Roomba? I mean, you have the yo-yo, but how do you know where the motor is? I mean, is that published, that information?
There's so our program is built off of Eric's iRobot 2014 program,
Okay,
and that
so
has
they
all like
published,
the commands like turn,
Okay,
move.
It doesn't give you feedback on original.
no, I understand, but
Just
the interface of how to hook it, something
It's
external
a
to the.
hackable platform that I create. It's made
It's like USB to the
Serial.
phone.
You can use a standard Roomba to do it as well.
I mean, what's the interface between the phone and the Roomba?
It's called a yo-yo car.
Okay,
Oh, my
so, but it's connected to that through USB,
Yes.
and then the yo-yo is connecting
Serial.
So actually, I think it's parallel. I think underneath the green board there, I think it's actually like a multi-line parallel port. At least that's what it looks like to me.
That's just what's supported by Roomba.
That's what the
directly
Roomba
via
Create
Roomba.
gives you, and then
Okay.
in between the yo-yo and the Roomba is what Vic Wintris created. So he's got that green board that he created. The interfaces between the Roomba and the yo-yo, and also provides extra ports for sensors like ultrasonic. So Vic did a lot of work on this, probably multiple years worth of work. And then he decided to run his own platform and spent years on that as well. So,
But if you design as a home board, why does it need the yo-yo?
well, so the new design is the yo-yo built into it. It was the first design.
So when you were working on your software, did you run a simulation to check out your software? Did you have to create a simulator software to make sure everything is in the software with sequencing?
We mostly just tested it directly, just
Oh,
loaded
just
onto the
directly.
robot, test.
Trial and error.
You're looking at the simulator right there.
Yeah.
So what's the development cycle then? Are you able to load stuff onto the phone remotely, like over Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, or do you have to?
So we go on the computer, connect our Android, and we use Android Studio. Then we'll download the program for the phone, then just plug it in.
So you're physically moving the phone back and forth between the two.
That 1,000,000 times.
And you didn't manage to kill the connectors. That's good.
You know, there's a way to do it wirelessly, but you have to root the phone to do it. Yeah.
I have mine rooted,
It's
but it
very
only
cool.
has half a gigabyte of memory. So.
I don't think you have to do routing just to do Bluetooth, but it's
Oh,
slower
it's
than
Bluetooth.
connecting it directly with the.
Oh, I see. The way I did it was Wi-Fi, and I had to root the phone to make it work. So maybe it's a Bluetooth way is different.
Is there anything from your competitors' robots that you would like to steal?
Well,
Any ideas?
make use of.
Borrow.
Yeah.
I'll use directly wheels. You have to. I'll use the Roomba or find some way to basically alter the hardware. Speed. Yeah.
So that would allow you to not have to do the turn in order to.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to adjust as much.
Yeah, but then part of the reason you have to turn is for the camera. So if you have
That's true.
wheels that move every direction, you need 4 cameras.
4 cameras.
They already asked me for that.
Or a rotating prism.
Or
Yeah,
you,
rotate, yeah.
or you use a mirror in front of the camera.
Yeah, one camera in the mirror.
Then
turn.
turn the distance, but still, it's okay.
What sort of hardware modifications did you have to make? Like that rig must be pretty solid for hitting the phone level.
Yeah. I mean, this was actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be. It was pretty much just a piece of metal and like 2 distinct clamps that just hold the phone in place. And that's pretty solid.
To what kind?
Just
Just metal, and we have this like the pattern that you put under
Right.
chairs sometimes.
Oh,
That kind of holds the phone without breaking the screen.
So you made that?
Yeah, we just bought the materials for that.
pretty heavy. And then the clamps there are holding on the lights.
Yes, these are just clamps.
Standard.
Yeah, the weight would be, I mean, the force would be huge difference, wouldn't it? Because it's moving, you'd be vibrating the video. You would know how far away you were.
That's one of the reasons they move slowly when they're adjusting.
Did the lights shake? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I
A
wonder
little
if that
bit, but
changed
it's
the
not
light level.
a huge difference.
Not usually.
Does it work without the lights?
It does. These are just a safety measure in case there's strange lighting.
What other lighting did you try?
So we originally had a flashlight that was too bright and just made everything look completely dark.
No.
So I'm using these like white lights, night light.
So that was $20 down the drain.
so how much was the whole thing?
Okay, let's see. So the Roomba, when we bought it, that was, well, we've gotten a lot of distance out of the Roomba. So I think we've had it, what, 4 years? And then the yo-yo and the green board was probably another 100. And then the metal pieces, the clamps, the lights, the padding, I'd say that was probably another 150, just, I'm including everything from past years as well. Cords, yeah, I'd include the cords. We went, as one of you mentioned, oh, you kept your USB cord intact. No, no, because it just gets wiggly throughout time. And on YouTube, I found videos on how to correct that, but I'm like, no, just buy a new cord.
Lights.
750.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, yeah, okay. So if you're including the registration fee,
For 4 years.
that's $500 each year.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, and then there's the tuition to the Java classes.
Well, so tuition for Heidi was free because I was teaching it.
Oh.
Well, I was teaching it after the first year. Vic was teaching her the first year, and then I got signed up because I do Oracle database programming on the side. So, and I took computer science in college, so I was familiar enough with C++ that Java was a pretty easy learn. So I taught Java for 3 years or so.
Stayed one chapter ahead of the kids.
Until William caught up, and then I couldn't catch up anymore. Once we went into the Android programming, I couldn't keep up with William, so he took over.
So why was the entry fee so high?
So my understanding is that they actually, in past years, have lost money
It's always
because I suspect the main cost is probably the space at the Reuben H. Fleet Center, because we rent it for 2 days, or they rent it for 2 days, and that apparently is rather expensive. And then in years past, you see Heidi's got T-shirts, so they were doing T-shirts every year and flyers, and it's a whole big thing. And Vic and Diane, his wife Diane, they just put an incredible amount of effort in June too. So I'm amazed by what they're able to do every year and how much sponsorship they're able to get from people that they know. They really put on quite a show.
Are you gonna present at the Maker Fair?
I don't think so, but
You should.
Why not? You should.
we
You
should
should.
hype then too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't Winters going to have a thing?
We're not interested anymore.
No. But I meant Mr. Winters, I should have said. Or isn't the League of Extraordinary Programmers? Amazing. Amazing.
When and where is this Maker Fair?
October the 2nd and 3rd in
San Diego?
Balboa Park. We're taking over 10 museums. 3rd is
Wow.
going to be the show and tell to end all shows. You would not believe the things that you will see there. You will see radio-controlled battleships in a pond actually shooting bullets at each other and sinking and being repaired and fire back
Don't
at
kill
them.
the fish, James. Or
No, it's a man-made pond. There's going to be a quadcopter cage, and they're going to do the Game of Drones sort of a thing where they battle with the quads. There's robot fighting. There's going to be all kinds of educational stuff.
For like $35.
Couple of RTE.
Yeah, that's actually it's on. Is it
And 2
still on,
RTTs.
Early bird?
I believe
22.
it's cheaper than that.
Yeah, it's 22 on early bird right now. Go get your tickets quickly.
Is that-
But if you're presenting, it's absolutely free to get a booth as long as you're not selling it at the show. So.
I think we have some flyers in that corner on the right. I think we have like 5 flyers left.
I think we might have taken those last week.
Oh, okay.
Well, go to San Diego makerfair.org, whatever. And there's a nice entry form that you can fill out that only takes, 3 hours to fill out. It'll get you right in.
Yeah, so if we can get a round of applause to
Yeah.